for the Berries, able to knock off Lafayette Jeff in the semis.
It was a good win for Logansport. They did a great job.
All-star candidate. We expect him to be an all-star. That's DJ Valentine.
DJ Valentine is another really good player, a core junior all-star last year. Combo player, does it all, distributes, scores, and is a good defensive player as well.
These teams are meeting for the 169th.
For tonight's contest. First for Logansport, it's interesting. They're actually the home team in this game, even though they're on the road because of how the sectional draw is. We talked about Penny off the top, but you see a couple of really good players, especially in the post. Jared Schrock, a 6'6" senior. He had 8 points and 10 rebounds yesterday in the victory over Lafayette Jeff. On the other side for Kokomo, you see the students getting ready for the action here tonight. Valentine is the focus of this entire team. He averages 18.5, but Taylor Persons, a sophomore, has been playing incredibly well. 20 points last night. He had 26 in a loss against Richmond to close out the season. He has come on, and head coach Brian McCauley saying that he's getting a little bit more out of his younger guys that have helped this team peak at the right time. Well, Steve, we're ready to tip it off, and there is nothing better than a sectional final March Madness, Indianapolis high school style.
Well, we got a good crowd, and this is what it's all about. If you're a high school player in Indiana, you want to be somewhere, you want to be playing in this game tonight for a sectional championship.
Good crowd in downtown Kokomo tonight, and the tip controlled by Kokomo, who, as we mentioned, on their home floor, they're the visitors, so they wear the visiting red, while Logansport is in the home whites. Armand Bridgeforth, great defensive player, quick early touch, and Valentine is 1 for 1 from the field.
He does that very well. He's off to a good start. That could be a bad sign for Logansport.
He had 14 last night in the win against McCutcheon. 12 of his 13 field goal attempts were from behind the arc, and made 4 of them. So good sign early. Out of a double team, nice find. Flipped up by Schrock. Whistles swallowed there, we play on. Valentine in transition, heat check early. And the rebound controlled by Penny. He does everything. He scores, he rebounds, he dishes out assists, he gets to the rim. And that one misses from 15. But both teams pushing the pace. We expected that from the Wildcats, as Brock Armstrong strips that one away, and Penny will slow the pace for the Berries, which we would expect between these two matchups. Kokomo, the more athletic, quicker team to the ball than Logansport. And look at Penny, as I say that, right to the 10.
Real nice move, taken to the rim. Good job finishing.
Penny 2, Valentine 2 here early on as our Star Watch holding true a minute and a half in.
Well, Kokomo's going to want to run, but when they get around the half court, they want to try to spread the defense out, attack the basket. Force Logansport to have to play some defense.
LeBradford Seabury with the floater. Junior averaging 11.5 a game. Good touch there. The Kokomo leads 2.
On this end, Logansport's going to want to slow the game down a little bit. Be a little bit more patient.
Ball knocked out by Jalen Tinder with the assignment on Schrock. Schrock, the senior for the Berries, tallest player on the floor for either team. As there you take a look at Mark Victor in his 5th year coaching Logansport. The win last night got his record at the school back to 500. 53 up, 53 down. 11 years total as a head coach. Nice high-low action, but Biggs could not handle it. And the officials say off of the forehead of a Kokomo player will stay here with the Berries.
Well, we're going to want to watch the matchup.
Here you look at Brian McCauley in his 6th year. Longtime assistant here, played here. And there a sweet jumper for Cameron Biggs, excuse me, as we're tied at 4. Persons going right to work. A little bit too short on that one. Penny couldn't keep it alive, and then as Bridgeforth went up, he was fouled. They will say, the officials will have a conversation, was he in the act or not? And they will give him 2 shots. Penny picks up the personal, and Bridgeforth will head to the line.
That's one of the things Kokomo does really well. They go to the offensive boards, and sometimes their best offense is missed shots because they get so many offensive rebounds and finishes.
Well, free throws could be the key in this one. These teams met back on February the 9th. Kokomo in this building winning 58-52. They never trailed, but it was a really even matched game, Coach, and the big difference, Kokomo shot 36 free throws in that matchup, made 27 of them, had a 17-point advantage at the charity stripe. And as you see, Bridgeforth make 1 of 2. They've started 1-0 at the charity stripe here tonight. And a quick takeaway. Tinder with the pilfer. Here comes Ballantyne. Oh, beautiful move through a couple of defenders, and Ballantyne has 4. And the largest lead is now 3.
Once again, that's the Kokomo game right there. Spread the floor, take the ball to the basket, force Logansport to defend. This matchup here, well, they got Ballantyne on him now.
3 may have been deflected there by Tinder, and as the Berries tried to keep it alive, it heads out, and that will bring a couple of substitutions into the game. Logansport will go with Bullard, as you see Ballantyne coach there in the lane. That's why he's an all-star candidate, able to change direction. Also in for Logansport is number 14, Jason Higgins, who saw his first action of the season last night for the Berries, scoring 16 points in the win against Lafayette. Jeff got cleared. There you see the defense on Ballantyne. He knocked it off of the senior's foot. Higgins cleared on Monday for the first time all season. He is suffering a rotator cuff injury on his non-shooting shoulder, his left shoulder. But what a way and what a time to get back in the lineup. 16 points last night, and gives the Berries a little bit more depth off the bench tonight for Mark Victor.
That's a good time to come back, a turnover time.
Floater in the lane, and how about that one by Penny? Hung in the air. Gets his team back within 1.
Bridgeforth is Kokomo's best defender, and he is on Penny. That's going to be a good matchup to watch tonight. That time Penny did a great job, hit a big shot, tough shot.
I like that Schrock matchup against Ballantyne, the 6'6" post against Ballantyne. There you see it going at Schrock, and they say Schrock got a hand on it, and it'll stay here for Kokomo. And looks like both players may have bumped knees a little bit. Ballantyne rubbing his right knee. Take another look.
Yeah, right on the thigh. Got it right on the thigh, looks like.
Officials tonight, Michael Fox, Antoine Wynn, and Terry Magnuson with that call. This time, Schrock does get the takeaway. Here comes Penny. Left it short, and the board cleared by Eric Bowen. 6'5" enforcer off the bench for the Wildcats. Oh, beautiful, quick move to the basket. And Kokomo's all-time leader in touchdowns on the football field goes coast to coast, showing that running back burst. And Bridgeforth has 3.
Pretty good move on the hardwood for a football player.
A lot quicker without pads.
Yeah.
As Higgins answers with a triple on the other side, and this has all of the makings here in the early going. We've played just about 5 minutes, and we're all tied up. Mark Victor imploring his team into a defensive stance, and as Seabury got to the rim, he was fouled. He will go to the line, but not before we have reached a timeout. Well, we build this as a battle between 2 excellent guards. We have seen explosive plays here early going. Penny and Ballantyne back and forth.
character.
Happen on February 9th.
Yeah, there's nothing you can do about the last game. The only thing you can do is be prepared for the next one. What happened in the last game shouldn't have any bearing at all on this game.
Goes up high to get that rebound and will clear ahead. What springs on that, just a junior frame, so a chance to next year perhaps really make waves, and he gets to the rim again, and right now there is no Kokomo answer for Antonio Penny. Valentine going to work. Good drive and the nice bounce for Taylor Persons.
Some real
There you take a look at that last meeting back on February the 9th. 58-52 here inside that building. And the other way, no foul called, and the layup goes for Tony Moses. Boy, the Logansport fans and the bench wanted the charge call there, didn't get it. Wildcats back on top.
You would think there was something there, but I guess the official thought it was a no call.
Looks as if Penny will be content to hold for the last shot here in quarter number one. It has brought us everything and a little bit more in the great matchup between Penny and Valentine. But so far it's the junior from Logansport who's winning the head-to-head, but Valentine's team with the slight edge. Schrock, floater on the baseline, gets it to go and one.
It's great patience by Logansport that time. They wanted to take the last shot. They got it with about 3/10 and got fouled. They'll make a three-point play out of this. Good way to finish the quarter for Logansport.
Jared Schrock, the senior, will head to the line with a chance to give his team perhaps the lead going into quarter number two after Kokomo has led most of the way. Not by any large margin by any stretch, but for every Kokomo basket there has been an answer and then some by the Berries. Schrock short on that one. Valentine trying to get it up quickly, and at the buzzer, Moses almost got that three to go. What a quarter to start it off here in the Sectional 7 championship. All tied up at 17 apiece. Kokomo with the early energy, but Logansport with the...
Season 10, Sunday at 11.
We've played 8 minutes, decided nothing. Tied up at 17 apiece here in the Sectional 7 championship game. Logansport and Kokomo. Kokomo off a 30-point win last night against McCutcheon here inside Memorial Gym. And here was what Brian McCauley had to say about that win.
With great intensity, great effort, and really came out and got off to a great start. And the start of every game is crucial. Obviously, you're not going to win it in the first 3 minutes, but you certainly don't want to dig yourself a hole. So I was really pleased with our guys, their focus at the start of the game and throughout the game.
That focus evident here in this one, but we knew it'd be a battle and a great first quarter, Coach.
Both teams playing very well for a sectional championship game. Didn't seem to be any jitters or anything like that.
And in the post, another layup for Bowen, and then perhaps after the layup, a little extracurricular shove as Todd Yeoman was in. And they'll get it actually on the bucket, so a chance for a three-point play for Bowen. That whistle came so late, I thought they may have actually gotten him for the push after the shot had gone.
Well, there was a lot of contact there, and the player that tries to get even always gets caught. So composure has got to be very important in this type of ball game.
Well, it is a dead ball foul after the layup, so it'll be Valentine to inbound. So an opportunity for a 4, perhaps 5-point possession here for the Wildcats.
A player from Kokomo we maybe want to keep an eye on is the Bowen kid who just came in, number 50. He's kind of their super sub off the bench and gives them some size, and he's scored some big numbers in some games for him. So
that one stolen away That's what Bridgeforth can bring to the table, and he goes coast to coast off of 3 steals a night ago. Bridgeforth with his first here tonight, and all of a sudden a 4-point.
Great defensive effort by Bridgeforth.
It's the largest lead of the game so far. Kokomo led a couple of times by 3 in that first quarter.
Kokomo's changed their defense a little bit now. They're playing a 2-3 zone.
Here comes Bridgeforth again in the open floor. And he was hammered as he was heading up. Well, this is a difference maker here tonight, what Armand Bridgeforth is able to do for this Kokomo team.
Number 24, Ron Armstrong.
And you see on that last possession able to take it coast to coast, and has now earned 2 free throws here, Coach, again by using that speed in the open floor. Taking advantage of their strengths, Kokomo right now, speed in the open court.
Well, they're forcing Logansport to have to play defense. I wouldn't be surprised, and I don't know if Logansport plays that much zone, but at some point in the game, before it gets out of hand, they may want to try to play zone and slow down that ball penetration by Kokomo.
Bridgeforth knocked in the first of 2. Head coach Brian McCauley of Kokomo told me before the game he expected to see zone played against his team here tonight. And Mark Victor on the other side. So they had to mix his defense as well tonight, so I would expect that we'll probably see it a little bit more. But here early on now with his team down 6, will the next time down be an opportunity to change it up, as we've seen Kokomo drop into that 2-3 they continue to play here on this possession.
Well, that'll help control Penny's penetration a little bit. You can't really expect one player to defend another one. You know, it's not me versus my man, it's our team versus their team. And Bridgeforth wasn't getting very good help.
Look at Valentine crossing over the Berries defense. Gets to the hole. It's the largest Kokomo lead. And a timeout called by the Berries. Mark Victor has seen enough here in the early going of quarter number 2 as it's an 8-0 run out of the gates by the Wildcats. Coach, take another look at Valentine.
Just a great offensive move, doing what he does best. Right now, Kokomo's just doing a much better job executing their game plan, which is pretty simple. Put the ball on the floor and take it to the basket. Either get fouled or you get a layup.
Valentine there getting to the rim pretty easily. A hard test for Logansport. Mark Victor talked to us before the game about defending the star senior.
Well, Valentine's capable.
He has the ability to just stretch the defense. I mean, he's got range to 21, 22 feet, so that's where you got to guard him. That's where you got to pick him up, and you know, he can also take you off the dribble. So he's extremely hard to defend. You know, and he's a very good passer too. So you can't always just key on the shot because he's going to set up his teammates as well. So you know, it proposes a tough challenge for us. I think we held him to around 18 or 19 the last time, but you know, he's capable of going off for 30. So you know, you never know.
Okay, Kokomo's in this 2-3 zone. Logansport's trying to figure out how to get a shot out of their offense against it, and really struggling right now. And that's the reason why Kokomo's opened up an 8-point advantage here.
Logansport committed just 1 turnover in that first quarter. They've given it away already twice in a limited number of possessions here in the second quarter.
Well, here's Logansport's 3-2 zone.
Valentine found a little bit of a seam and knocked it in from about 22 feet. He is a deadly 3-point shooter. He hadn't shown it yet in this game, and it's all of a sudden blown open to an 11-point Kokomo lead. Oh, beautiful
nice pass.
Penny to Schrock, and that ends a 10-0 run to start this second quarter.
Coach Victor's worst fears are coming to fruition right now. He goes into that zone, and right away Valentine gets a 3.
Valentine with the muscle leans in, and I believe they're going to get Penny for the foul. If they do, it is. That is the second on Antonio Penny. You can ill afford to have him off the floor at all in this game if you're Logansport.
You know, you play the first half to get to the second half, and you win the game in the second half. I always hated to see players, key players, pick up that 3rd foul in the first half. So looks like Coach Victor's going to roll the dice here a little bit. and leave him in the game.
It was a quiet first quarter for Ballantyne, but all of a sudden exploding here in the second quarter. 4 of 6 from the field. Perfect from the free throw line, and he now has 11. Penny just trying to get any opening to go to work. Instead a floater, and that was way off by Brock Armstrong. Barry's all out of sorts right now. Here comes the transition again, and Bridgeforth left it short. Now Penny trying to answer. Nifty behind the back, faster than everybody down the floor, couldn't finish. Schrock got his man in the air and finishes instead.
Really good job by Schrock on the follow-up.
Ballantyne dared his man to try and guard him, misses his first one from outside. Frenetic pace right now. Higgins step back 3. Schrock kept it alive. He bounced it off his own leg and controlled the dribble. Well, this is a desperate time right now for Logansport. And off another turnover, it will get us to a timeout. And it couldn't have come at a better time for Mark Victor and the Berries. Logansport was tied at the end of 1, but they have seen 13 quick points out of the gate for Kokomo. Offensive explosion. Kokomo leads by 9. Sectional 7 championship tonight on Fox Sports Indiana. Keys to the game working right now for Kokomo. Here's Coach Brian McCauley talking about it before the game.
It is. It's the old cliche. It's one game at a time. It's tournament time. But I think tonight's going to be really key. Some keys are, I think, containing Antonio Penny, number 23. He's that phenomenal player. That's going to take a team effort, true team defense, I think. Rebounding, blocking out and rebounding is going to be crucial. We played them early in the season. They out-rebounded us by 4, and they got second chance opportunities. I think defensive transition is going to be big, and that kind of goes back to Antonio Penny. I think loose balls are going to be crucial. Every coach says that, but it was true. In our first game, they were quicker to the loose balls, and we got out hustled at times. That's going to be key, trying to get that done. And then I think taking care of the basketball is going to be big. They forced several turnovers that they scored points off the first time they played, and we're going to try to get that corrected.
Logansport has a real problem. They can't defend Kokomo man-to-man, and they can't defend it in a zone. So that's some serious issues developing here. And then on the other end,
Ballantyne has exploded. He's got 16 now, and Steve, he is feeling it in every capacity of his game.
No doubt about it. He's playing with a lot of confidence. He's got the green light. He feels real comfortable stepping up and taking that shot regardless of the circumstances. And right now he's dribbling.
First time these two teams met back on February the 9th this season. Ballantyne had 18, but he had to earn it. He was 10 of 10 from the free throw line, didn't make a three-pointer. Mark Victor kept him in check. His defense kept Ballantyne in check, but right now there's just no answer. As Logansport heads out of that huddle, what is the conversation right now in that Berries huddle?
Oh, the conversation basically is things aren't going really well. We need a timeout here to stop this run. Anybody have any ideas? It's kind of coached by committee right now.
They might be soliciting you for opinions before the night's over. 3:04 to play, second quarter. And Kokomo, after this game was tied 17 apiece at the end of quarter number 1. You can do the math and see just what a run it's been for the Wildcats here in quarter number 2. Penny really had no business throwing that pass.
That pass didn't have a chance.
And Persons trying to make him pay on the other end. Schrock fouling Tinder, who came down with the offensive board. And now it's Logansport losing the hustle plays too.
Yeah, that's another one of those 50-50 plays. And as I mentioned earlier, Kokomo's best offense sometimes are missed shots because they do such a great job crashing the boards. And if you don't block them out, they're going to get second and third scoring opportunities.
Oh, that's too easy.
Oh, my.
Somehow Persons did Logansport a favor and missed the bunny, and it'll be Barry's ball. Winner of this one will meet the winner of Sectional 8 going on right now down in Noblesville High School. Hamilton Southeastern and Carmel doing battle. First quarter is complete there. Hamilton Southeastern leading 16-13. Congratulations, you win the sectional. You get one of those two teams next week in the regional.
It doesn't get any easier, that's for sure. Right now, Logansport needs to get some shots for Armstrong, number 24. He's their best three-point shooter, but he's not getting any looks right now. So they need to find a way to get some screens on him, run him through, reverse the ball around to him or whatever, but he needs to get some scoring opportunities.
Higgins long on that three. Here come the Wildcats in transition. Again, lob it behind for Ballantyne, looking for the highlight reel, but Tinder is there for another put away. And then a technical foul will be called against Antonio Penny. Frustrated with his team's defense, he spikes the ball. Watch it again. Not only does this cost your team some free throws, but that's his third foul as there you see it, slamming it down.
That's the last thing you need. Your key player loses composure and not only hurt himself, but obviously hurt his team more. Because now he's got that third foul in the first half, and they have to set him down.
Ballantyne, excellent free throw shooter, 78% on the year, knocks down 2 more. He has 18 points, and the lead swells to 18 here in quarter number 2. There, a look at Penny on the bench, where he will likely sit for the remaining 2:01 here in this second quarter. Both teams needed to make defensive adjustments after quarter number 1. Kokomo coach went to that zone. It has really stifled Antonio Penny, and we've documented on the other side, Logansport has just had no answer.
Yeah, they tried to adjust as well, but their adjustment obviously didn't work as well, especially when you have somebody like Ballantyne stepping out there and hitting the threes.
Ballantyne, showboating now against Yeoman. He's able to stay with them. Too easy, right into the lane. Seabury with another easy drive. The Berries coach just can't stop dribble penetration.
Well, the majority of Kokomo's points have been scored in the paint. You don't win many games if you give up a lot of points like that.
Schrock has played hard. He gets it there on the post and is immediately fouled. You'd expect that from a big, tall senior for Logansport. This is that time of the year, Coach, and you know it all too well. Every night could be your last game as a high school player for these seniors when it comes to one and done in the high school tournament. It's time for seniors to step up.
Well, the question always is, how do you want your senior season to be remembered?
Armstrong created a little space, and nice elbow jumper there for the senior.
I've got to get some more scoring opportunities for Armstrong. Kokomo went back into man-to-man that time, now that Penny's on the bench.
Clock ticking under a minute here, first half. Ballantyne doesn't need any assistance out top with the ball. He knows what to do with it. Seabury into a double team. Fouled by Nate Bullard on the way up. Actually, no, they're going to get Jared Schrock.
That was a little isolation play. Took the ball one side, isolated Seabury down there, let him take it to the basket and try to create. And once again, Logansport had to foul him to stop him.
If Logansport's going to have any chance of coming back in this one in the second half, they're going to need both Penny and Schrock to step up. But Penny on the bench after that technical gave him 3 fouls. That's the second foul on Schrock.
Yeah, the fouls are starting to mount up for Logansport. They're going to have some real serious problems with that as well.
And have you ever seen a tie score go to a 20-point deficit any faster than what happened here in the second quarter?
Well, Kokomo got themselves in a position to play the type of tempo they wanted to play, and Logansport was in trouble from there.
Nate Bullard ends another Kokomo run there. And Ballantyne will slowly bring it up and hold for perhaps the final shot here in the first half. Oh, nice drive down, but Seabury too much on that one for Tinder. And with a full second left on the clock, a chance for Logansport perhaps to fling something in and take any momentum that's possible right now into the halftime break.
Well, they'll take anything they can get.
Does get that one away. Good effort there by Higgins, but how about the second quarter by Kokomo? We were tied at 17 at the end of one. Logansport musters just 8 points there in the second quarter. Kokomo goes on an explosion. 18 points. Coach for DJ Ballantyne did it most in the second quarter. An amazing and impressive second quarter for the Wildcats.
Well, Logansport, too many points, gave up too many points in the paint, put them at the line, gave them second shots. Right now, Kokomo's executing their game plan just like they had planned to.
Well, it was an impressive second quarter, to say the least, for Kokomo. We'll see if Logansport has any answers coming up in half number 2. Last to come in halftime. Hope you'll stay with us here. It's Sectional Saturday on Fox Sports Indiana.
Welcome back to halftime here on Fox Sports Indiana. Sectional 7 championship games at the half, and we're at Memorial Gymnasium here in Kokomo. And the reason why it's Memorial, we're in the Memorial Room. And please be
and our coaching staff's done a nice job of continuing to allow our students to get involved. I think you'll see a student section that's really excited about their team and our program, and really brings on a lot of school pride. So, you know, we look forward to being able to continue on throughout the tournament and hopefully be able to have a nice run again this year.
You're the AD, but you're also the girls' coach. So how hard is it on a night like this not to be out there trying to do X's and O's?
Well, it's fun being able to watch the games and kind of see, you know, what you'd like to do and how you'd like to attack. And Coach McCauley and I actually played basketball together in high school here at Kokomo, and so we have a great working relationship, and it's been nice to be able to be a part of it.
Great host. We really appreciate the time, and best of luck the rest of the way. Hopefully it's even past this weekend.
That's right. Thank you for being here. We really appreciate it.
Halftime continues next here on Fox Sports Indiana.
First quarter and 14 points that second quarter. We'll see. It'll be interesting to see what kind of adjustments the coaches made at halftime as we get started here in the second half.
Well, if you're Mark Victor, what adjustments do you make at halftime?
Just have to play better. That's the bad half. Let's forget about that. Okay, Kokomo's now kind of in a 1-3-1. They like to run this as kind of a trapping defense sometimes. So this is a different look for Logansport. Coach McCauley's been doing a really good job of switching up his defenses. This is the third defense that he's played.
How about that one?
Good execution. Yeah, good execution by Logansport. That's a good sign.
Schrock finding Yeoman for the two, and it's a nice little start for the Berries. We'll see if Kokomo keeps the accelerator down or if they manipulate the clock a little bit more in half number 2.
Well, Logansport's just got to be patient. They're going to make up that 16-point deficit or that 18-point deficit at half. It's going to take some time to get that done, but if they chip away a little at a time, they got a shot to get back in this game. But not like that.
Yeah, too easy down low for Taylor Persons. Persons has 4, was 1 of 7 shooting in that first half. Gets it going here in the second half, and here come the Wildcats. Persons is all alone, but Seabury couldn't find him. Now Penny took it away. Just one man to beat is Bridgeworth. Goes at him and attacks, and that's a good start for Antonio Penny here in the second half.
That's a good start for Logansport as a team, other than giving up an easy basket.
Valentine has been very deliberate with the dribble coming across here the first few possessions of quarter number 3. Penny all over Persons there on defense, and now Tinder will reset. Seabury will control.
They're trying to isolate some players down in the low post.
Boy, you had to protect if you're Penny there against getting foul number 4, and Persons with the muscular advantage went right at him.
Sometimes they have Bridgeforth down there posting up. That time they had Persons, and Persons was able to get the basket and finish.
And Penny just wants to go at Valentine.
Well, it isn't going to happen out of this 2-3 zone that Kokomo's in right now.
So it'll pop from 17. Boy, outside of the outburst and the foul trouble, I have been more than impressed with what he can do. He just hasn't had a whole lot of help here when Penny's gotten going.
Well, he's a gifted athlete. From what I've seen, he just maybe needs to do a little better job with his mental toughness.
And it's too easy on the other side for Armand Bridgeforth, as Penny can just not afford to pick up another foul.
Right now, whoever Kenny is guarding is who they're posting up down low because they know he can't defend them.
That one in and out from 3 for Penny. Rebound controlled by Seabury.
Let's see who Penny's guarding. Oh, okay, the Logansport's now to 2-3 zone.
We thought we would see more of this in the first half. A few times they flashed it. Valentine made outside jumpers. Kokomo's offense was really working, and they will wave off the basket on Persons. Schrock was there in good position. It's the right call on the charge.
It was a nice little runner by Persons, but he just penetrated a little bit too far. Schrock did a good job setting up to take the charge. Good call.
His first team foul for one of the second half.
Substitution in for Logansport. Bo Bullard is on. Now Logansport will try and go quickly. Jason Higgins also in, off of the 16 points in his first action of the season yesterday. Struggled in the first half, and there you called for it in the first half, Coach. More looks for Brock Armstrong.
Yeah, Brock Armstrong has got to get more touches and more scoring opportunities because he's their best perimeter shooter, and he can get a lot of threes quickly if they'll get that done. That time they did a good job. They brought it from one side of the floor, reversed it right around to him in the corner, and there he was.
The Berries extending that D, trying to force Kokomo into a turnover. This is the interesting sort of chess game of high school basketball without the shot clock, how you play with the lead, how you guard with the deficit. And a slim opening there for Armstrong, and he got nothing but air. And that will earn him a spot on the bench. He'll be replaced by Yeoman, but both teams will have a chance to chat about things into this timeout. Well, a better effort by the Berries here in the third quarter, but championship. These two teams met back on February the 9th. Mark Victor, coach of the Berries, talks about what his team thought they may have learned from that matchup.
Kokomo's an extremely talented team. I mean, they have a lot of different weapons. Valentine, primarily, you got to defend him very well, but, they also have great role players. And so The first time we played, it was they were on the verge of breaking it open 2 or 3 times because it got up to 11 or 12, but we were able to get back in the game, rallied a little bit, took better care of the basketball. You know, we mixed our man in our zone, and we kind of tried to keep them off balance a little bit. We were able to get back into it. I think we ended up getting beat 6, but you know, they're a very good team. They went to the state finals last year, so you know, we're fighting all the tradition here in Memorial Gym. So, but it's going to be a fun night.
Logansport went into a 1-3-1 zone that last time, and once again, Kokomo had an answer for him.
Moses made the 3, now leads the break, but Schrock was able to pick it away. And Ballantyne knocked that one out of bounds. The official was blocked out of the plays asking for help. And with no visual by the officials on that one, they're going to keep the ball with Kokomo. Coach, it's just a case of no official being able to see the play.
Well, the lead official was too far down the floor to be able to help the inside official here that was blocked out on that. But obviously it was a wrong call.
Well, back when you were coaching, 2 officials on the floor for many of those games, and they made the switch when the postseason to make sure that every game had 3 officials working every game to try and combat some of those problems. You could speak better to it than I have about that change and what it's done to help the game here the last couple of years.
Well, the game has become so much more physical, and having 6 eyes out there instead of 4 with the officials, I think, has made the officials' jobs a little bit better. But they're not going to get them 100% right. Sometimes they're going to make some mistakes. I think this game tonight's been pretty well officiated.
Absolutely.
But as coaches, you know, you want them to get them all right, but you know, we're all humans, and sometimes strange things happen. You know, you could debate what is a foul. You know, it's whatever the officials happen to be calling that night.
We have a limited time window tonight, Coach, to talk about this
right.
game. That's upper level thinking right there of basketball theory. Logansport having struggles right now, just trying to find an opening to get a shot. Need to go quickly as Penny is able to find a little bit of room in that zone and draws the foul against Eric Bowen. He will head to the line for a free throw. Just 3 free throw attempts tonight for Logansport compared to 12 for Kokomo. It's a 11-2 differential in terms of points at the charity stripe.
Antonio Penny found a little seam in that zone right there and did a good job taking to the basket. Kokomo was a little bit slow and rotating over and helping on that, and as you can see, they had to foul him and put him at the line, but Logansport's not getting the line very much. And Logansport's got a real dilemma on the other end. I mean, you know, they're down 18 points and they're trying to play some zone, and Kokomo's just going to be very patient at this point.
Penny has 15, but he's taken 14 shots to get those 15 points. Not the most efficient numbers, and a similar stat line to what happened when these 2 teams met back on February the 9th.
Okay, now we're seeing a little trapping defense by Logansport out of the 1-3-1. And this could create some problems for Kokomo if they're not careful.
Tinder looking quickly for Moses, who's able to save and keep the possession alive. Good lob down low, and there's that 6th man, Eric Bowen. What a physical presence for the Wildcats off the bench, but he's slow getting back, and Schrock will earn 2 free throws.
The thing that's impressed me the most about Kokomo tonight is whatever defense Logansport attempts to play, Kokomo seems to have an answer. And there was another example that Logansport's trying to trap, and they end up getting a good scoring opportunity in the low post with Bowen.
Most coaches will tell you it's the players that execute, but in a battle of adjustments tonight, no doubt that Brian McCauley has gotten a little bit of the better of Mark Victor in this game, just in terms of the defensive adjustments and then the execution, obviously, by his players on the floor.
Some full court press now by Logansport.
And another 3 by Moses. Well, he's gone quickly when he's gotten the ball, but he's made a couple from downtown, and the lead swells to 21.
Once again, anything Logansport goes to do defensively, Kokomo has an answer.
But Bridgeforth just put those 2 arms up, almost got the turnover, but instead ping-ponged around, and Armstrong is able to knock down another triple. No look by Ballantyne, got it across to Bowen. That 3 short by Moses. Another offensive board for Kokomo and a second chance for Tinder.
Great job by Tinder going to the basket, getting weak side rebound position and finishing.
Well, it has certainly been a team effort tonight as Ballantyne pulls down the rebound. That's his 3rd rebound, and will they give him continuation? No, they're going to say it's on the floor.
Yeah.
But Ballantyne has been very quiet offensively here in this 3rd quarter. The beauty of this Kokomo team and what Brian McCauley has at his disposal. When they needed Ballantyne to score for him, he's been able to. But, Coach, this is a great team.
Well, Ballantyne is the marquee player, but this is not a one-man team. There are a lot of other good players on this team. This team is battle-tested, too. I mean, 3 returning starters, plus their 6th man from last year's 4A runner-up team, so it's not surprising.
They got that run all the way to the championship game started by throttling this same Logansport team in the sectional final on the Berry's home floor up in the Berry Bowl, 92-57 a year ago. And it looks as if there's going to be another comfortable victory here with just about a quarter to play as Ballantyne will heave it up at the horn. He figured that one would go in the way it's been going for Kokomo, but they take that halftime lead of 8. Kokomo on their way to their state record 72nd sectional championship, and if they were to hold on, it'll start perhaps another run like we saw a year ago. Last year, Kokomo going all the way to the state championship game where they would lose to Bloomington South in the 4A title game. But what a run, Coach, for Kokomo. I don't think a lot of people expected them to make it as far as they did, but all it takes is a little confidence, win your sectional, and then see what happens the rest of the way.
And they had some players step up and hit some big shots in the run. I know the Seabury kid hit a big shot against Pendleton Heights, and Ballantyne hit a game winner too. I can't remember who it was, maybe in the semi-state. But that's how you get to the class championship game, making big plays.
Ballantyne has 21, and it looks as if he's going to take his team into the regional round. And a chance at another run that may have gotten a little bit easier with 8 minutes to play in the sectional 8 championship game. How about this score, Coach? Number 1 Hamilton Southeastern is getting their doors blown off by Carmel, 57-33.
Well, Carmel had a really good draw in the lower part of the bracket, and Hamilton Southeastern had to beat an outstanding North Central team and had to beat a really good Noblesville team on their floor. And Carmel is, I mean, I think Hamilton Southeastern obviously is the favorite because of the high-profile players they have, but Carmel has a bunch of no-name players that really know how to play the game together as a team, and so it's not completely surprising to me. Maybe the score, wouldn't expect it to be that big of a discrepancy in the score, but strange things happen.
Getting a little chippy here inside Memorial Gymnasium. We saw maybe a chicken wing that wasn't called at mid-court, and then Bridgeforth paid the price as he tried to go up for a flush. And Bridgeforth is having a good night. Looking to go into double figures. He has 9 points to go along with 3 rebounds and 3 assists. But he will be remembered at this school not just for what he does on the basketball court, but what he's done on the football field. He averaged 182.9 yards rushing this season, leading the Wildcats to a 9-3 record. He accounted for a school record 35 touchdowns. He returned 3 punts and had 6 interceptions. 3 punts for touchdowns, had 6 interceptions, also playing in the defensive secondary. Oh, and by the way, he plays a pretty good game of basketball as well.
He needs to work a little bit. If he's got a weakness, he needs to work a little bit on his free throw shoot. He only shoots 57% from the line.
I think his football coach will let him slide on that one.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Kokomo still getting to the rim with ease here in the fourth quarter.
Well, the only way Logansport can stop Kokomo right now is by fouling them.
Seabury, a 64% free throw shooter, will head to the line. He has 8, make it 9. 7 Wildcat players have scored. It is not, neither of these teams are very deep. Brian McCauley told me before the game, while he's really enjoyed watching a player like Taylor Persons, a sophomore, step up and play better this year, he was still a part of the rotation. He's just contributed more. On the other side, Logansport, who got the services of Jason Higgins back, went 8 deep to start this game tonight. As it'll be a lot of long distance action from Logansport as we'll stay here. They'll get Persons over the back.
Taylor Persons, his second team foul.
And we may start to see a lot of walks to the free throw line here in the final 6 and change.
Well, there's still plenty of time for Logansport to make a run.
3 for Antonio Penny.
Penny with the 3, quick timeout by Mark Victor to reset the defense. Down 19. You obviously need to figure out some sort of defensive stop as we take a look at these two teams and the big history here in sectional 7. You see that Kokomo, the defending champion, with that dominant win a year ago. And then the Wildcats last year beating Lafayette Jeff in the semifinals, who Logansport went ahead and took care of last night. Kokomo had an easier path into this, and it's kind of similar to what we were saying in sectional 8. Hamilton Southeastern, that tough path. Now they're having a real hard time against Carmel. Kokomo with a little easier game of it last night against McCutcheon, while Logansport had a heck of a battle with Lafayette Jeff, and then you see the score here tonight.
Yeah, it's not easy. I mean, there are a lot of good teams, and you have to play well and not just one game. It's a 2 or 3 game sectional to advance. It's all about surviving and advancing.
Valentine, beautiful no look to Seabury in the post, and he'll go back to the free throw line.
Now, this quarter is going to take a lot of time to play.
We flew by the first 3.
That's right.
We're going to get
That's
fans
right.
want to get their money's worth here tonight, so keep the popcorn machine rolling there in the concession stand.
There's time for a run by Logansport, but they just can't stop Kokomo offense. Whatever Logansport tries to do, Kokomo has an answer.
One of 2 for Seabury. Penny trying to go quickly. Armstrong got away with a travel and then left the layup strong. Kokomo looking to run. Seabury goes through the defense, lost the handle. Biggs took it away. Penny 4-on-1. Didn't need the other 3, but missed the layup anyway. Then got it right back. Challenges Valentine and 1.
Well, that time Antonio Penny needed to give it up. He had a teammate ahead of him. He probably would have got an easy one. But good hustle on Penny's part, getting the rebound and then being able to finish and get fouled.
Well, the game within the game. Penny and Valentine jockeying for high scoring honors. That layup has Penny 1 point better than Valentine. It's 22 now for the junior from Logansport. He's got 8 rebounds to go along with those 22 points. But that disappearing act in the second quarter may have just given his team too big of a hole to climb their way out of here this evening. Seabury's been all the offense for Kokomo, just bowling his way to the hoop. And I sound like a broken record, he'll shoot 2.
Well, I'm not sure that Penny really disappeared in the second quarter. It was just the Kokomo defense didn't give him many opportunities to be a scoring threat. And you got to give Kokomo credit for that.
They hit him. he didn't disappear himself.
Yeah. And then he got in foul trouble and lost his composure. And he's easy to guard when he's sitting on the bench.
I have a chance at guarding him when he's on the bench.
Yep.
He still could probably beat me for a couple of points playing on the bench. Penny working against Ballantyne. Couldn't get the three to go. Persons clears the board. I really like what this sophomore brings. And I'm sure Brian McCauley is going to enjoy having 2 more years of his services.
Yeah, he's a nice looking sophomore.
3-on-1 now. Up top, Ballantyne gets it and somehow is able to get it to go. That's an all-star caliber move right there by DJ Ballantyne. Timeout called by Logansport. Well, DJ Ballantyne has 23 tonight. His season looks like it's going to continue, but his playing career certainly will continue to go on. Part of a recruiting class going down to Southern Indiana and Evansville. And Marty Simmons has got himself quite a guard coming in next year. Ballantyne, how do you see his game progressing to the next level?
Well, Coach Simmons, as you said, has got to be really happy to have Ballantyne because of all the things he can do. He can use him in so many different ways. I mean, he's good in transition. He's good taking the ball to the basket. He's good stepping up to hit the three. So, I think he's got the potential to become an even better player at the next level than he is here.
There you see a couple of roommates will be joining him in Evansville, perhaps. The Adam Wing and David Howard down there at Evansville. Evansville actually playing right now in the Missouri Valley Conference semifinals. So I'm sure as soon as this game is over with, DJ will be on his cell phone checking scores, perhaps even exchanging messages with some future teammates down there at Evansville. Missouri Valley getting a lot of national publicity this year. Wichita State ranked. When I got here today, they were trailing with under a second to go in the Missouri Valley semifinals. May have opened up the door for another team to go dancing in March Madness, but we're dancing in high school March Madness here in the state of Indiana. And another 3 by Armstrong has gotten Logansport back within 20. And on the other end, Christian Arnett, who is in for Kokomo, draws the foul. We'll shoot 2.
In another minute or two, Coach McCauley's got to start thinking a little bit about getting some of his players off the floor before somebody gets hurt, because it is getting a little rough out there. But the problem Coach McCauley has is his bench is not very deep.
Arnett, a senior, limited minutes this year, calmly strokes the first one. Opportunity to get a little postseason play for your upperclassmen. As Arnett seeing action for the 12th time this year in a game. And Penny was not expecting that pass back from Armstrong.
Coach McCauley's got a couple of his starters out there, out of the game right now. Actually 3.
And on the sideline, Persons was trying to do a tightrope act. Could not keep in bounds. Another turnover by Kokomo, but they have done a good job taking care of the basketball here this evening. That's their 11th giveaway.
At this stage in the game, things are getting a little sloppy.
And on cue, Armstrong is about 2.5 feet short on that 3-point attempt.
I tell you what, he looks really good shooting it, and then sometimes it's an air ball or it's banked off to the right side of the rim, or that shot there was off the side. I think it may have been deflected. But other times he really looks good stroking it.
A little refire this one, and 2 feet short the first time, 2 feet long that time, and Ballantyne will not be challenged.
Oh, be careful.
He
be
was
careful.
Poked hard there by Todd Yeoman. It was a play for the basketball, but it goes back to your point, Steve, about if you're Brian McCauley, there's about a half second there where your heart almost jumped out of your chest with Ballantyne flying in.
Yeah, Yeoman has got to be careful. He's kind of like a hatchet man in there right now, and he's been fouling pretty hard the last 2 or 3 times down the floor. I think he may be coming out now, which may be a good thing for him and for the Kokomo players.
He will take a seat while Jason Higgins comes back in. These are conference rivals, not just sectional rivals. Logansport this year 2-5 in the North Central Conference, 6th place. Kokomo was 5-2, finished 3rd. And always competitive, tough conference. And before the layup there by Bowen, couple of steps down the lane. I don't think the fans quite agreed with that call.
Official Mike Fox got that one right.
Then he wants to go quickly. Higgins, quick trigger. Take another look at that travel a moment ago. Oh yeah, the old Texas two-step down the lane.
I don't think he meant to, but it's still a travel.
I think that first step was so fast it surprised him.
You may be right. He's a good-looking sophomore, though. I like him. He's going to have another. The great thing about sophomores is the fact you get to coach them for 2 more years.
Persons and Bowen, both with a couple of years left here at Kokomo. Seabury, who's been very aggressive here in the second half, a junior. You're going to lose DJ Ballantyne. There's no question that you're losing one of the top players in the state of Indiana as he heads to the free throw line here. And Bridgeforth will take a seat for Kokomo. It might be the last time that we see Armand in the game today. And I wouldn't be surprised if Ballantyne couldn't make the free throw, if he would be out momentarily. Bowen just working hard in the post, and he'll earn 2.
Banging the boards. And, Coach McCauley's done a great job of getting his program in a position where when you lose a player like Ballantyne, it's not like you have to rebuild. But when you got good young players coming back, it's a situation where you just kind of reload.
Jared Schrock is fouled out for Logansport. That was his 5th, and the senior's career likely comes to an end. And given the time to make a substitution, Mark Victor uses every single moment to give his senior an opportunity to hear it from the fans that have traveled down from Logansport to give him a hand. And you know that feeling all too well, Coach. Senior's last moment walking off a floor.
Well, when it's over, it's over, and you have a lifetime of great memories, and there'll be a point in time as he gets older that he'll cherish these moments even more than maybe he realizes right now, regardless of what the score is.
Bowen with 6 rebounds. That's now 8 points for the sophomore in the post. We're halfway home here in quarter number 4. As Penny hits another triple, and Logansport will spin their last timeout. And it'll take us also to a timeout. All Kokomo leading on their way to another sectional championship with coach who knows a little something about winning sectional championships, Steve Whitty. I'm Will Haskett. Will, Coach, take a look back at some highlights. I think you remember these games pretty well. 1995 and 96, Ben Davis. Hair was a little more colorful back then, I think, for you, but sure helped when you had some big bodies. And back-to-back state championships in single class. Trip down memory lane for you.
Great times. We won it in 95 when we were the best team in the state with the best players. Then we wanted to get in 96 after all those players had graduated. But so we won it when we were supposed to and won it when nobody thought we could. So we're really proud of our players. Coach is only as good as the players' effort that he's able to get.
Well, Brian McCauley, head coach of Kokomo. Some people didn't think that he had a squad worthy of making it to a championship game a year ago. They were there. Perhaps this year is another opportunity for him, as both teams have subbed out all of their meaningful players here for the final 4 minutes. And that means for Logansport, some players that have not seen varsity action at all this year are on the floor for the Berries.
Yeah, we have no stats for them, period.
And they'll get quick action, and now Mark Victor's going to bring his starting unit back onto the floor after this first free throw attempt is missed by Dylan Orbaugh, who's on the floor for the Wildcats.
Well, it's kind of interesting. I'm not sure.
Maybe just an opportunity to get him in the box score.
Yeah.
Or is Brian McCauley seeing the move by Mark Victor to bring all of his starters back in and counters with his own starting unit?
This can get dangerous here.
I don't know about you, but it's confusing to me. We've had 8 substitutions. Well, actually, Brian McCauley calls back a few bodies as Orbaugh makes 1 of 2, and he's going to put Valentine back on the floor. So interesting here.
Just be careful here.
Missing everything from the corner was Jacob Snow. Kokomo will easily clear, and Armand Bridgeforth, who I thought may have been done for the night.
I think he thought he was done too.
All of a sudden, number gets called again. No need for Kokomo to really even try and go offensively. Logansport doesn't look like they want to try and trap. Floater missed, and over the back was Kyle Beeler.
It's like Coach McCauley is going to get those guys off there now.
And now 4 more bodies in red jerseys come in for the Wildcats.
The only thing I can figure is that a lot of the Logansport players are underclassmen. Maybe Coach thinks there's some things he can work on to get ready for next year. I don't know.
Snow, a junior, at the line for the Berries. This is 7th free throw attempt of the year. Knocks it down calmly. This will be the 72nd sectional championship for Kokomo. That is a state record. But these things have become harder to come by for teams, especially at the 4A level, since the move to class basketball back in the late 90s. 3 in transition missed by Orbaugh. But to continue that point, Coach, you've got a situation where now instead of playing these smaller schools in your geographic area, you've got these North Central Conference teams that are all funneling into similar sectionals. You know, 20 years ago, Logansport and Kokomo would never have seen each other at the sectional level.
No, and the North Central Conference is a great conference then, and it still is now. But the North Central Conference is experiencing what a lot of the Indianapolis schools have experienced forever. Now you have to start playing the better teams a lot earlier in the tournament. And a lot of times, North Central Conference teams didn't really have to play anybody until they got to the semi-state.
As we continue to play on, it has gone final in Noblesville. Carmel defeats Class 4A #1, Hamilton Southeastern, 81-63. So it looks as if next week's regional matchup at Marion will be Carmel and Kokomo. Boy, it's surprising, but you know what? We were talking off the air, and you mentioned it on the air about Carmel's just had a really good team this year. Caught Hamilton Southeastern perhaps on a bad night, tired after the long week, including that unbelievable, epic, dramatic win over North Central in the first round of the sectional on Tuesday night. And Hamilton Southeastern will not advance out of the sectional. It will be Kokomo and Carmel next week in the regional.
It's not that big of a surprise to me that Carmel won, but what's really shocking is the score. I thought it would be a much closer game than that.
A little extracurricular there between a few players.
These guys act like they don't like one another. Is that a North Central Conference thing?
I'm a city boy, so I don't know. I don't know the dynamics if there's a ancient history between the cities of Kokomo and Logansport, but
Logansport may be a little frustrated right now because I think they've lost to Kokomo, what, like 8 or 9 times in a row now?
And without, yeah, it will be. It'll be 8 straight losses for Logansport in this series. 7 straight on this floor. When Kokomo will push their all-time advantage in the series to 118 wins to just 51 losses. The only thing that Logansport can hang their hat on, they did win the first matchup back in 1904. There you take a look at next week, as Kokomo will be taking on Carmel in that Sectional 8 championship, or the regional between Sectional 7 and Sectional 8. And when these players get to the locker room and find that out, somebody may be breathing a little sigh of relief, say, whoa, we thought we were going to get Hamilton Southeastern if we won this game.
Yeah, it's going to be a little bit of surprise, but the bottom line is you don't really care who you play as long as you're going to be there to play somebody. And in that regional, there's, you know, with Carmel and Kokomo and Homestead and maybe Northrop, I mean, that could be a heck of a regional at Marion.
1 of 2 at the line for Beeler, as this fourth quarter continues to tick on. Penny, nice little floater. That's 27 now for Antonio Penny to go along with 9 rebounds, but just 2 assists. He's a triple-double threat, but has not had the help on the offensive end. That one missed. Boy, Beeler's been very active, impressive. Another one tapped up, no. What good hustle by the second unit in for Kokomo. And letting it fly from 3, Montanez Fowler. Junior gets into the scoring column here. This is one of those where 30 years from now, he'll have the box score of this game framed.
Right.
And he'll say the three-pointer was at the buzzer at the end of the first quarter to tie the score. Take another look just a moments ago. This one got the fans here at Memorial Gymnasium on their feet.
The bench, Kokomo's bench, really loved that 3. This game has almost become a summer league game now. The way the game's being played, they're just kind of running up down the floor.
Logansport used that free throw opportunity to sub Brock Armstrong out, so another senior for Logansport has seen his final seconds wearing a Logansport jersey. And off the deflection, nice job by Jalen Walden to keep that one alive, as we will tick under a minute to play here, as Penny will walk it across.
Did you expect it to be this type of game?
I don't know what I expected, but I think you and I both thought that it would be a little bit closer than this. But that second quarter by Kokomo, they will look back on this game and just say the defensive adjustments made, the explosion by Ballantyne offensively, just 2 things that Logansport can never overcome.
That's right. I mean, Coach McCauley's game plan and the execution of that game plan just worked out almost perfectly. Everything they went to do, everything Logansport went to do defensively, Kokomo had an answer for, and that's a sign of a well-coached team. And it was pretty much all over after that first quarter.
There you see the celebration was already beginning in the Kokomo huddle. Brian McCauley going down the row of his players, congratulating them on another Kokomo sectional championship. 72 now in the illustrious history of this program. The one state championship in 1961. Will they have an opportunity for another one? Well, they're at least a step closer. 83 to 59 will be the final as it goes down. Coach, an impressive one for Kokomo tonight. We knew that Ballantyne would be able to score, but the team effort defensively, I think, really played the biggest role in this one, especially in that second quarter.
It really did. When Kokomo went to the zone, Logansport just didn't have an answer. They did make some adjustments at half times and did get some shots for Armstrong, and he was able to knock down some threes for him, but it was too little, too late at that particular point. So It was a well-played first quarter by both teams, but anything that could have gone wrong did go wrong for Logansport in that second quarter, and that was the difference in the ballgame.
Let's take a look at how we got to our final results. Some second half highlights. Again, it was 17-17 after quarter number 1, but Kokomo opened it up in the second half, and then Logansport had some flashes of brilliance. They had some opportunities. Antonio Penny finishes with a game-high 27. You see him there going to the rack, but just too much Kokomo balance today.
But that, those 27 points are a little bit deceiving. A lot of those points came after it was pretty much decided, because he had 10 at halftime. And, the game was going south for Logansport real quick after halftime.
Valentine finishes with 24 for the Wildcats, 11 for Seabury in this one. And a good overall effort for Brian McCauley's team as they move on. And this is one to build on, knowing now that they get Carmel next week in the regional. That's an important one to know about in that one, Coach, because you think you may have the #1 team now. You build off of some great momentum from this win tonight. You get another good balanced team next week, but without the firepower that Hamilton Southeastern was probably going to bring to that one, it's something to build on for these Wildcats.
Well, this was a real balanced scoring attack for Kokomo tonight, with 3 guys in double figures and two others with 8 each. And so with that type of momentum, regardless of whether you're playing Hamilton Southeastern or Carmel, you got to feel good about the effort that you have tonight. And this will be a good springboard for next week. But it's different in the regional. You got to play 2 games in one day now.
Memorial Gymnasium is going to have to add a little bit more space to all of the trophies that are gathered around this building. The 72nd sectional championship trophy held by that team. There, a look at the final statistics there on the screen. Kokomo made a lot of trips to the free throw line late in the fourth quarter, but anything that stands out to you there, Coach, the difference on the rebounds, perhaps 16, the plus 16 advantage for the host Wildcats.
Yeah, that's not surprising, but that's one of the Kokomo's strengths. And like I say, the discrepancy in the free throws, Logansport didn't have a way to defend him.
Once again, the final score from Kokomo, it's the Wildcats 83, Logansport 59, as the Wildcats have won their 72nd sectional title, and they will get Carmel next week in the regional. Thank you to everybody in our crew tonight behind the scenes that made the show possible. Don't forget that the next game will be coming up in the semi-state here on Fox Sports Indiana. For Steve Whitty, I'm Will Haskett. Thanks for joining us. You have been watching